Okay, so Common Core is going to kind of show us visually why the formula for the area of a triangle is half times base times height. So if you look at this page, if you look at this shape down, I need my green marker. Somebody want to grab my green marker? No, it should be on my desk.
I'll get it. I'll get it.
It's a blue marker because the green is here. It should be the blue one. Okay, great. Okay, take a look at this square in the lower right-hand corner. What we kind of lose sight of what area is. Thank you. Remember, area is how many units is within that space, this two-dimensional space. So without giving you the height and width, how many square units is this particular square here? Go ahead, Karen. See, that's what I'm saying. That we're losing sight of what area is. If I don't give you the height and the base and the height, how many square units is making up this larger square? That's what I'm asking. I got 3 hands on that?
4.
Come on. Brandon. Right, you got to count the boxes. Think of this as being like 3 inches or 3 units. 1, 2, 3 by 3 units. Do 3 times 3 and you get 9, or just count the boxes. So you get 9 square units for the area of this shape, which they're calling Y. Write this down at the top. Now seriously, tell me the truth. Did I lose you on this?
No.
I either count the boxes up, or I know that this is a unit to here. That's 1. There's 2. This measures 3. This measures 3, and I can do 3 times 3 that way. Okay? So my total area for that particular square is 9 square units. Okay. The next thing is they've taken the same space and they've divided it in half by drawing a diagonal line from the upper left to the lower right. And they're going to ask us, what's the area of this right triangle being created? What can we do to figure it out? Even before even knowing the formula, what can we do to figure it out? Anna?
You can count the boxes, and since there are 2 halves, you can add the 2 halves.
There's actually 3 halves, but let's take what you're saying. I've got 1 full box there. There's 1. I have another full box there. There's 2. And I got 1 here. That's 3. Now here come my halves. So far I have 3. What's that make? What's my total so far? 3.5. What's my total now?
4.
And then finally, what's my total now?
4.5.
Okay, let's put it all together. What's my relationship between 9 and 4.5? What's that relationship? Dan Donato.
If you add 4.5, you get 9.
Okay, you're there. Say it a different way.
9 minus 4.5. Oh no.
Like you're almost there.
Oh.
There's another way to say it, which is going to allude to our formula for finding the area of a triangle. Pate.
If you add another right triangle and twist it a little bit, you can actually make the square, which is 9 units.
Okay, but again, my original question, what is my relationship between 9 and 4.5? Kelly. That's the word I'm looking for, that 4.5 is half of 9. Can you get it?
Yeah.
Okay, you was doing the same. You realize you took each 4.5 and you said another 4.5, another half would make the whole. I get what you were saying, but I wanted the word half to be in your answer. What we've done is, look, our square or our rectangle, it's A equals base times height. Therefore, the triangle is going, since this is 4.5 is half of 9, the formula for the triangle is 1/2 base times height. That's why the formula works. There's another way to write it. Does anybody know that second way to write it? Jay.
Base times height.
Close. Base times height divided by, not by a half, divided by 2. Now I'm going to go back into half screen mode because it's bigger. I want you to write down both. And I'm going to give you some hints. I want you to use this formula whenever you see sides measured in fractions, either one or more side. If you see a fraction, use this for fractions. It's going to make it easier. The other one, as long as you have non-fractions, which means whole numbers and even decimals, you can use this. I'll just say non-fractions. I'm going to show you an example of each. And after you have that written down, we'll go to the next page, and we're going to do we're going to do number 1 together, and we're going to do number 4 together. And then I'll tell you what your assignment is for the rest of the class. So flip the page. Can I flip this?
Wait, let's put on the bottom side.
Oh, this at the bottom, triangle y was 4.5. We just kind of did it up here. Square units. All right, I'm going to the next page. All right, so if you look at number 1, first question I would ask you, what formula should you use? Look at the sides. And then if you have to refer back to the previous page, what formula would you use? Matthew.
A equals B times A.
Why'd you choose that one?
Because for fractions.
Right, there's no fractions. Okay, what do I do next? Anna. Thank you for using the word. We substitute. Anna, what's my base? What's my height?
8.
And don't forget, divided by 2, that never changes. You never have to substitute anything in for the bottom part of that. It's always going to be divided by 2. Now we're just going to evaluate it. What's 15 times 8? Take your time, get it right. I skip lines here too, so if you feel like everything's getting kind of crammed together, skip lines so you have nice space. 15 times 8. Caitlin, what'd you get?
120.
Sounds good. Again, don't forget, it's 120 still divided by that 2. We haven't evaluated that yet. But now we will. 120 divided by 2, in all honesty, you should be able to do it in your head, because you could do 12 divided by 2 in your head and just add a 0. Lily. 60 what? No naked numbers. No naked numbers. 60 what? Half dressed. Say it with confidence. Square feet. FT with a little 2. Okay? And we'll circle that. I'm going to show you a shortcut. If it confuses you, do it this way. Okay? I'm going to show you a shortcut. I don't know if you have room or not to the right of this. If you don't, you could put it underneath, but I'm going to rewrite this step. 15 times 8 divided by 2. Rewrite it somewhere. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. And tell me if you could tell me what I did. Watch. Ready? What did I do and why? Leah. I did. What number goes into both 2 and 8? Right, so 2 went into 2 one time, and 2 went into 8 4 times. If I can make that bottom divide by 1, well, I don't even need to look at the bottom anymore. I could do now 15 times 4, which is 60. It's a little bit of a shortcut. You don't have to do it that way. But I want to expose you to it because it's just another tool. It's just another strategy. You don't have to write this, but let's practice it one more time. I'll go to a fresh sheet. What if I have, my base is 12, my height is 7, and what can I do now? Normally, if I evaluate this, I'd get 84 over 2, or 84 divided by 2. What's the shortcut, though? What can I do? I call it knockout. What can I knock out? Which is just a fancy way of saying cross-reduce. Dan?
2 goes into 2, 1 goes into 6.
And in all honesty, and you can agree with me or not, I think 6 times 7 in your head is easier than 84 divided by 2 in your head. Because you get 6 times 7, 42, done. Okay? No, it only works. The shortcut should only be used if at least one of the numbers is an even number. If I give you 11 times 7 divided by 2, it doesn't make any sense to knock it out. I could make this 5.5 and make this 3.5, and if I multiply that, I would get the answer. But it doesn't save me any time. In fact, it makes more work for me. I'd rather do 11 times 7, which is 77, divided by 2, 38 and a half. Okay, so use it as a strategy. If it confuses you, don't use it as a strategy. One more thing I want to say about this. Tell me what I'm going to do wrong, because I've seen students do this too. I've seen this. Ready? Tell me what I'm going to do wrong. Gab, did you see?
You did both.
I did both. I can only knock out one number up top. If I knock them both out, I'm going to actually get half the answer that I'm supposed to get, and that would not be right. I can only knock out one number. Which one should I knock out? Say it. I think it's easier to knock out the larger number. You get 64 as your answer. Okay? Again, if it confuses you, don't use it. You're going to use calculators today anyway. And by the way, when you do it as a calculator, when you use a calculator, you could do this whole thing in one step.
You can?
11 times 7 divided by 2. Do it all in one step.
Oh,
You don't have to do 11 times 7 and then write down the answer and then take that answer and do divided by 2. Do it all in one shot.
Which shall work?
You have to do formula, substitute, and then when you get to substitute, you can then go calculator and get an answer.
Okay.
And then dress it up with the right units.
Do we,
I'm going to show you one more. I want to show you number 4.
so
Yeah.
we just did the first one.
We did the first one, but now we do the fourth one.
So this is our homework.
You're going to do 2, 3, 5, 7, and 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 8 starting in class, and then whatever doesn't get done is for homework. You're not doing problem set tonight. I'll recap it for you after I do number 4. Let's do 4. Go to 4, which is page 4. What? Yeah, but you're going to start it in class. You'll have more than enough time to get them at least half done. I'll explain that in a minute too. You're actually going to hold off because tomorrow's the advanced set is very advanced. Okay, number 4. First of all, look at your sides. What formula should we use?
What did you say?
M&M. That's my suggestion. Use the one that has the half. Because our sides are measured in fractions. All right, next thing is to substitute. Who wants to do that for us? Yeah, Lil. What's my base? And what's my height? Good. All right, right, there's my substitution. Now what? Yeah.
The fractions into
It's already a mixed number.
and then
It's already a mixed number. You got to change it to a.
oh,
Help her out.
improper fraction.
Got to change it to improper. 1/2 stays 1/2. Anna, what is 8 2/3 as an improper fraction? You got it. What about 5 1/2, Anna? Good. Let's play the knockout game. Do you see anything that we can cross reduce? What can we knock out? Anybody? Raise your hand. Jay.
Oh, the 2 and 11, the 2 and 26, 26.
What two numbers do you want to knock out?
The 2,
And
26,
you got it. What do they become?
1.
Yes. Makes it a little bit easier. We still have to do 13 times 11.
Oh, I know.
2 times 3 times 1 is 6. But what about 13 times 11? Everybody do that? I'll call on you. Who's got it? 13 times 11? Hello? Not that bad.
I know.
13 times 11 is what I think you're working on. I don't know. I see 2 hands out there.
No.
13 times 11.
Betty knows.
Jules? Huh? 143 is good. All right, we're still not out of the woods. We have a very top-heavy number. We got to change it back into a mixed number. I want to kind of stop for a minute, actually. Everybody look up. Don't look up this way. Look at me. When you get to this, let me show you how your calculator can be of somewhat help to you. I'm going to do 143 divided by 6. I'm going to turn it on first and clear it. 143 divided by 6. When I do that, I get, don't write this down, 23.83 repeating. It sort of helps me because I don't care about this. I care about my whole number. It's going to be 23 and something sixths. Because I've got to keep it as a fraction. It's not a decimal answer that we're looking for. So how do I get this top number? What should I do? I got to do one more thing with the calculator to help me out. Do you know, Gab?
I think we have to do 6 divided by 23.
Close. It is something with that 6 and 23. Paige, help them out.
Multiply 23 times.
23, yeah, 23 times 6 gets me 138.
Then add the 5 from 143.
Right, and that's 5 away from 143, so we get 23 and 5/6. If this confuses you, go with long division. I'm just trying to give you, the calculator is just a tool. You have to know where and when it's going to help you out. Sometimes it doesn't help you out at all. All right? It's not going to help, the calculator is not going to help you out for 5/6 times 2/3 if you want to stay in fractions. It's not going to help you out. You have to multiply your tops. It's easier. Tops times tops, bottoms times bottoms. Sometimes it does come in handy. You got to know where and when to use it. Yeah.
On the calculator, like when there's a repeating thing, why don't they just put the line above it instead of having just the number?
It has to do with the technology of the calculator. To put that line above it, remember, it's like a liquid crystal thing. It just, although I've seen it on some phones now. I see that repeating bar. These are not like, your phone. It doesn't have the same resolution. So it requires more technology to do it in the display. Jay, I'll take your question in a minute, but let me just tell you what everybody's doing. All right, here's whatever's left in 1 through 8 is what needs to be done. So why don't we go back to this page, number 3, circle number 2 and 3. Then on page 4, you have to do 5 and 6. And you're going to do 7. And at the very end, if there's time, 8 is a bonus, which I would like everybody to try, advanced or not. Even at home, if this is the only thing that's left, I want you to try it. At least see if you can get the equation down. Okay, now my advanced group. Here's the game plan. You're not going to touch advanced questions at all today. My goal is to meet with you tomorrow and take you through advanced because it's really advanced. It ends with something called the Pythagorean theorem, which you're going to learn in 8th grade, but you're ready for it. I'm going to expose you to it tomorrow, okay? Otherwise, you're just doing everybody else the same as everybody else, the ones I've circled. And you can group up, and the calculators are here.